Hi, I'm Ted Cook.
No.
You're who?
Go start over.
Start over. Yeah, I'm gonna say take over. Hi, I'm Ted Cook.
And I'm Jason Cook.
We're brothers. I'm older. You can't tell it, but I am just a couple of years older, and a couple of pounds heavier. We are excited this morning. We're here to answer some of your questions that you sent in. We've got about 8 really good questions and a couple that are just plain dumb. But you know what? We're going to answer those too because our marketing people tell us we have to. All right? You ready to get started?
I'm ready. Let's
All
go.
right. Here we go. First one. What is more important, wear layer thickness on luxury vinyl plank or the overall thickness of the plank itself? That happens to be a really good question. Wear layer thickness is more important than the overall thickness, okay? When you we both have kids, and as the kids were growing up, you would ask them a question, they would want to give you an answer that sort of skirted around what you were asking. You'd say, all right, listen, we'll get that answer later, but right now I want you to answer the question as I asked it. So that's what I'm going to do. Wear layer thickness is more important than the overall thickness. However, what the wear layer is made of is just as important as the thickness of the wear layer, and what is in the composition of the overall thickness is more important than the overall thickness. So I'm taking that answer a little beyond your question, but I don't want to mislead you. We can there's 2 really common wear layer thicknesses here at Really Cheap Floors. We don't sell any of the cheap 4, 6, or 8 mil. We started at 12 mil, and we have a 20 mil. So 20 mil will last longer probably than a 12 mil. Not that you're going to wear through that floor, but if we're honestly comparing them, there's a test out there, an abrasion test, that if we put the abrasion test on both of them, 20 mil is going to last longer than 12. Okay, that's what you asked. If one of our products, our 7 series, the Nobility, offers an aluminum oxide additive to the wear layer. So a 20 mil with aluminum oxide is going to wear longer than a 20 mil without aluminum oxide, because that additive makes that finished product much more scratch resistant. Sounds sort of like what a life insurance salesman would tell you, but it's just the plain truth. Aluminum oxide, if you want to look it up, it's a really hard material. It's used as a hardener in a lot of different things, but in LVP and hardwood flooring, almost every piece of hardwood flooring we sell comes with aluminum oxide. But with LVP, all of them don't, just the 7 series. Overall thickness isn't that important. What is important is what it's constructed of, okay? Your better floors will have balancing layers, and we'll have a graphic added to this question, but when you see the construction of an LVP on the graphic, you'll see balancing layers, about the 4th one down through there. Without that balancing layer, the floor isn't as stable in somewhat extreme conditions. If you have high humidity, if you have lots of direct sunlight, without that balancing layer, it can cause that product to shift, to warp, to separate. So it's not so much how thick the floor is, but the presence of that balancing layer. Okay, so sorry about going on so long, but I do get paid by the hour, so there we go. All right, next question. Let's see. Here you go, Jason. Is LVP flooring better than laminate flooring? Does LVP look better and last longer than laminate?
Okay. Yes, I think LVP is a much better floor than laminate. One, it's 100% waterproof. A lot of these companies are coming out and saying, with laminate, saying they're water resistant. About anything out there is water resistant, ain't it?
I guess so.
But there are big differences. LVP, we can put it anywhere over a slab. We don't have to put a moisture barrier down. We can have spills on it that we missed we don't see it till the next day. Well, it doesn't hurt the LVP, but we know what it's going to do to laminate. It's going to get down there and make the top bubble up. Does LVP look better and last longer? I I definitely think it looks better. I think the LVP has pretty much took over the laminate, don't you?
I would think so. Now, there are some really high-end laminates out there now that are more waterproof and look better, but you're talking about $5 or $6 a foot.
Yeah.
Who wants to pay that?
You know,
Not me.
and a lot of your new LVP are registered embossed, so which means see a knot, feel a knot.
What that means, when you get a board that has a lot of, the visual has a lot of texture in it, the finish will have texture that matches the board, and it's really impressive.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, come in, order one of the samples for our 7 series, the Nobility. It's pretty interesting. Sorry to interrupt.
That's fine. But as far as one lasting long the other,
LVP's going to last longer
LVP's
because
gonna last
because
as
it's
long.
waterproof.
Yeah, laminate can last as long, but you have to worry about your moisture issues.
Right. If it's just a durability issue, it's probably a toss-up, okay? But when you can throw in waterproof and value, LVP wins hands down.
Yep. All right, here's one for you.
Okay.
Even though LVP flooring is waterproof, is it possible to have water underneath the flooring and have mold start to grow?
Yes. Yeah, it's water can get around an LVP floor. If you get a big flood, you get around it. Water gets around it, you're probably gonna have problems. In that case, you're about gonna take the floor up, let it dry out, put it back down. That's a good thing about it. With a hardwood floor, if it gets wet like that, you're probably gonna throw it away. LVP, take it up, put it back down, just let it dry.
Yeah.
That was an easy one. Okay, let's see here. This person is, this is my question. I'm thinking about installing some hardwood floors when I fix up my current house, then I'm going to rent it out. What's the best type of flooring when I put this house up for rent? I want cheap and long lasting. I assume I'll have to give up one value for the other. Now that's an interesting question. That's a really interesting question. When we're doing houses for ourselves, we have a certain amount of emotion that goes into the decision. When we're doing a rental house, it's like a spec house. You can check the emotions at the door, okay? It's all about money, because when you're renting a house out, there's a little formula there. Money that you don't have to spend is money you get to make, okay? Well, then let's not spend some, because that's why we're having a rental house, so we can make money, okay? One thing, we don't want to spend much money. We have literally hundreds of customers, repeat buyers frequently, that are in the rental business. And what we find with them is they usually buy some of our small lots. They buy our stuff in warehouse sales. If you're in the bottom half of the rental business, price is everything, okay? So maybe we have a lot that's a little bit darker than what you want. Buy it, 'cause it's 20, 30, 40 cents cheaper. You've got options. Some people in rentals that are on the lower, definitely on the lower end, will buy small lots and make rooms different colors, okay? It's all about saving money. Now, as far as longevity goes, do you think that using 2 different colors makes any difference in longevity? No, it has nothing to do with longevity. When we're talking about wood, if you're buying a 1/2-inch product, you're buying the best product you can buy. Doesn't really matter what color it is. Now, in LVP, we don't recommend going under a 12 mil floor just because of the stability issues. We don't want to go through all the work of buying a floor, installing it, putting in trim, and then having stability issues and the floor going bad, and we save 30 cents. Bad idea. On 1,000 foot, that's $300. Don't buy cheap LVP floors. Nothing under a 12 mil floor, okay? Because you want to get that balancing layer. You want the construction that will give you a chance to use that floor for a long time. Again, we want to save money, and if we're replacing floors, we're not saving money. So, you don't have to give up long lasting to get cheap. You don't have to give up cheap to get long lasting, okay? Except a little bit in LVP.
Right.
In wood, no. We have so many options. We literally buy out tons and tons, tractor trailer loads, 20, 30, 50 tractor trailer load deals where we'll clean out warehouses, and when we have 1,000 lines of inventory, some of it's more desirable than others, okay? Catch us with some of those less desirable lots, whether it's because of color or size, save you some money and stick it in that rental. Okay, what's next?
Good. All right.
That was a tough one.
Was it?
Yeah. What number are we on?
Here's an easy one.
38, okay.
Bought a house, found hardwood under my living room carpet. Can't tell if it's solid or engineered. So how do I find out which one it is.
Well, you've got a couple of options. A lot of times you have registers in the floor for heat and air. Pop one of those up and look, okay?
What if I ain't got no registers? Didn't have heat in there.
Or it's over concrete.
Well, if it's over concrete, you pretty much know what it is.
Pretty much
but-
sure, okay? Well, gosh, I don't know. How would you tell the difference? If you can't tell the difference, who cares, really? But
But you need to know if you could sand it, you know.
that's true. I don't know. How would you tell the difference? I don't know.
If I didn't have any vents in the house, I would probably go in a closet, take a board up,
Or drill a hole.
or drill
Paddle
a
bit.
hole.
Yeah.
Drill a hole in the corner where trim may cover it back up in the corner of the closet.
Or do it in the kids' bedroom where there's so much junk in there you'll never see the floor again.
If the wood's 3/4 thick, we know it's solid. Anything less than that, we know it's engineered.
Most likely.
Yeah.
There are exceptions, but they are
Yeah.
rarities.
Rare, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as he said, if it's a solid wood floor, that means you can sand the floor if you need to. And usually a floor, if you find it underneath carpet, it's got big moisture stains in it. Because when you have carpet down, you don't worry about maybe the dog peed on it, you
Right.
spill the drink as much as you do with hardwood, so you can't get it cleaned up. So it's a solid floor, yeah, you can go back and sand that floor, refinish it, make it look almost brand new. If it's an engineered floor, you might sand it a little bit, but probably not. Probably just scuff it,
Scuff it and coat it.
put another coat of finish on it, make the finish look perfect again. Even if it's, you still have the splotches in it, you'll have an overall gloss level that doesn't say, hey, this is a 100-year-old floor that's been abused. Okay? Here's one here for you. It says, I heard you can use roofing felt as an underlayment for hardwood floors. Can I?
Yeah.
That's what we use every day, right?
Yeah, that's what we've used for 30 years as far as I remember.
15-pound felt, is that right?
15-pound felt. This is to put down before you nail your floor to keep it from squeaking. A lot of people think, well, it's roofing felt, it's a moisture barrier. No, it's not a moisture barrier.
Not with 1,000 holes in it.
Not 1,000 holes in it. So it is to keep your floor from squeaking.
Because over time, you're probably going to get some
Yeah.
movement in your floor. Every one of those nails is an opportunity to squeak.
Yeah.
So essentially, it just gives you a
just
greased
don't-
nail.
Don't want wood on wood.
Right.
You want
That's right.
something in between.
All right, let's see here. Here's a good question. Have you ever tried to lay LVP that looks like wood in different fitting patterns, like herringbone patterns or the Hungarian point style? Does the Click Lock LVP support different similar types of fitting patterns? Would be a beast, wouldn't it?
Yeah, most of these I think you would use a glue down,
Right.
where they just butt up to each other. It's hard to click all them different directions throughout a whole house.
That being said, I did see where Cortec is offering a herringbone.
Right.
So you can buy herringbone, but like you said, for the amount of money you're going to spend buying a specialized floor, go out and buy you a commercial glue down. You can pick up a 20 mil for probably $2, and then you can get any way you want. What you can't do is cut them, because most of these floors have the bevels on. So if you cut it, you lose the bevel on that end. So you'd have to use it in full links. And being that your boards are 48, most people when they do a herringbone don't have a room big enough to do it out of a 48.
Right.
Because you're only going to get about 2 foot in coverage if it's on a 45. On a 15-foot room, you're going to get 6.5, 7 repeats. Okay, let's see. Here's a question you've decided is for me. No, we already done that one. Oh, guess what? We're done. That means it's lunchtime.
Good deal.
All right. Listen, we love answering your questions. As you can see, we enjoy doing this. Plus, it gets us out of our respective jobs for a morning every week. If you have more questions, everybody wants to focus on their strengths and weaknesses when you're in a job. And we feel like between the two of us, mostly him, we know a lot about flooring. We know Jason installed floors for 30 years. 25 years, right? Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, and I watched him or worked in the store doing sales. I would venture to guess there's not a pair of brothers that are in the flooring business today that know more about the entire flooring business than we do. Hey, if you do, give us a call and we'll talk. You can buy us lunch one day. But until then, I'm going to say that we know a lot and we can help you. So if you have a question, send us an email, give us a call. We'd love to help you. Thanks.